What's going on YouTube? This is BMCool247 and this is a Draw 272 character deck profile for PaniK at the Disco. I'm just kidding, just PaniK. He's also known as Player Killer of Darkness in the Japanese version and Yamitsukai as well. But mostly we know him as PaniK, and the K is capitalized apparently. Anyways, if you remember from when he dueled Yugi, apparently he eliminated Mai before, or he dueled Mai and took a lot of her chips before he dueled Yugi. But he had a bunch of those chips around his wrists, chips, star chips or whatever, slots, which is pretty cool, honestly. But then he also ran a lot of these dark monsters that hid in the shadows, which I wanted to try to replicate with this deck profile here. So just real quick, so these decks are all about easy to use cards, a lot of variety, so a lot of not repeating cards for the most part. You're gonna see a lot of some repeating cards in here, but and then a ton of nostalgia from the anime. So let's get on into it. Two King of Yami Makai. Originally I was trying to make this the boss monster because this was kind of his boss monster, but it wasn't really strong enough, so I thought of an alternative for him. But so I'm running two of these 2001 tributes, not too bad in a casual format. Two Metal Guardian, which he ran. These are also level 5s, 2100 defense, so you're probably bringing him out in defense. And then two Reaper of the Cards. So all these are one tribute. So in the Draw 2 Summon 2 formats, you can summon a normal level 4 lower, tribute it off, and play one of these guys. This guy actually has an effect though with a decent defensive stat. Destroys a trap card on the field. So you probably, if they have a set back row, you could flip it up and see if it's a trap with two Reaper of the Cards. So those are your kind of, whether you want to stall or stall in attack mode kind of decks here, or monsters. And then we're going to have three Castle of Dark Illusions. Unfortunately, its effects tie in with zombie monsters. But other than that, it has the 1930, same with Reaper of the Cards here. And we're running three of him because he definitely, this was like his main defensive card. And until Yugi or Yami used Swords of Revealing Light, this card was on the field, like essentially the whole duel, and it provided a good amount of darkness. So a lot of defensive, almost 2000 stat cards for these five, and then 2000 plus stats there. And then we're going to go into our more of a win condition of the deck. We're running three Tainted Wisdoms. Don't worry about the effect; it's a crappy effect, and then three Ancient Brain. And if you can guess, it's for fusion summoning a Skull Knight. So he didn't actually run this in the anime, but I figured this was a good way to incorporate one of these cards I had when I was younger, Skull Knight. When I was younger, I never found the pieces for them. I might have stumbled across one Tainted Wisdom, but I never found an Ancient Brain. So now that I can go on TCG Player and order these for cents each, I went ahead and got some for my Skull Knight here at a 650 attack. That's a pretty good win condition boss monster for you there. So those are some of the monsters there. Ryu Kishin, I just feel like that was a good addition to add to Sir PaniK. We got some vanillas here for him as well. You might have seen these two monsters in the Bakura deck. And then I also threw in a Wall of Illusion as another tactic to return their monsters to the hand and a decent stall defense. So you see a lot of stall cards until you can get the fusion material for your Skull Knight here. Maybe I'll just leave them out over here. And then we're going to run our four not basic but staple cards, if you will, foundational cards. Yami, just like Bakura has in his deck, because this helps fiends and spellcasters. These are all fiends here, and then fiends, and then this guy is a spellcaster. So there we go. Everyone benefits from Yami. This I added because when they, or I believe they all kept getting boosts from, I think it was Yellow Luster Shield here. So I'm running 3 of this because since this is a kind of stall until you get your pieces for Skull Knight deck, we're running 3 continuous spells of Yellow Luster Shield. So if you start getting more and more of these stacking up, imagine you have 3 of these on the field, and you have a card like Castle of Dark Illusions out. That's 600 plus 1930. You're at like 2530 with sorry, these are 300. So imagine 3 of these, 900 plus 1930. You're at 1730. If I'm doing the math there right, because you're adding 900 or 1830. Sorry, you're at 2830. Gosh, my math. 2830 defense for each one of those level 4s, or even these level 5s here. So that's a really beefy defense with these guys, and you're going to pressure your opponents to use their D-spells or MSTs to get rid of this. So it's a good long-term strategy there. We're running 3 polymerizations, so you can try to get to your Skull Knight. Refusion to kind of reborn Skull Knight from the grave by paying 800, like a premature burial. Since Yugi used a Swords of Revealing Light, I felt like it was fitting to put a Swords of Concealing Light because he's all about darkness. So there's a Swords of Concealing Light that brings their monsters to face down defense in case you can't beat over it with Skull Knight. There's also a Shifting Shadows card that I didn't decide to include in here because it just shifted your face down defense cards, which was honestly irrelevant to me. Sword of Dark Destruction increases the dark monsters by 400 attack. Dark Energy boosts up the Fiend. You probably saw those when you were younger. Mind Crush, I just like the idea of it. I feel like this is a very PaniK card. Destroys a card in their hand if they have it in their hand. So if you pop it back with like a card like Wall of Illusions, that'd be perfect for Mind Crush. Regeki Break, discard 1 card to target 1 card in the field, destroy it. I just feel like he needed some boost there since a lot of cards he doesn't have. So I could just throw in any card in here. And then Shadow Spell I felt was fitting for PaniK as well. So that's the deck profile. I really like the idea of the Yellow Luster Shield stacking on each other for these main defensive cards here. And then you can stall long enough to get some beaters and start attacking. So it's a very fun, different type of deck, honestly, because you don't see a lot of Yellow Luster Shield. And when they stack, it's going to be kind of pressure on your opponent in a way. And then you got to finally play Skull Knight, my favorite. All right, hope you guys like that. Thanks for watching.